Gordon, this question is from our student. She asked how to play the gong without hurting or injuring the joints, like the wrist or the shoulder or the elbow.
That's an interesting question. How to play the gong safely. And you know, Yiling, before you raised this subject, I hadn't really considered it as a topic.
Oh, you know what? You know, among our students, especially I notice is a woman will ask this question because it seems men doesn't have this issue. They have shoulder problem or the wrist or the elbow.
Possibly so. But
before they play the gong.
But I do think that this is an issue can affect everybody who's starting out playing the gong. And it's all to do with technique and learning how to play the gongs with different sized mallets. What mallets are suitable for which gongs. One thing when we were discussing doing this video that you pointed out, Yiling, was that your experience with some students is that they
tend to use bigger mallet than what they can hold, or because somebody told them, oh, this size of gong, you got to buy a big mallet. But they don't. The people recommend, for instance, a woman player didn't consider how high or how physically good. So they tell them, oh,
in fact,
better to have a bigger mallet. Because bigger mallet can create more harmonies. You can feel deeper or better sound from bigger mallet.
We've got an old pasty mallet here, very nice mallet. It's called an M3.
M3 quite small.
So that's quite small, although it's quite large. Some people might think, but it's actually not that heavy.
No.
But it says on the label up here on this gold label, it's a bit faded, but it says that this is suitable for playing gongs 22 to 24 inch.
22 to 24 is about 2/3 of this dimension.
At this time, I'm not sure that pasties still do this, but they used to mark their mallets with what they were suitable size gongs they were playing for. And I've long, in fact, I made a video about it a while back when I was exploring a whole range of mallets that actually this is something you can completely disregard. There's a very simple rule with mallets. Smaller mallets, whether they're softer like this or here's a mallet which is quite small but hard. This is a hard ball inside here. This is a softer, got a sheepskin coating on it, much softer. But smaller mallets you can use on any size gong, from small gongs to large gongs. In fact, small mallets are fantastic on very big gongs. Right. Let me put those away.
Yes, so.
But
what's your
big
point?
mallets.
Big mallet like this. Wow.
Big mallets.
This is heavy. Woo-hoo.
This is about as big as we've got.
Almost as big as my face.
I'm using the ridiculously big as an example. But big mallets.
Heavy. It's about 1 kilo. How heavy?
Big gongs, basically. We've got a 38-inch gong behind us, and this is fine for this size, but if you tried playing this on a 22-inch gong, I'm not going to demonstrate it.
No, it's 22 is a true extreme example. Maybe
even 28. 32, it wouldn't be so effective. It wouldn't be so effective. Now, the other thing about these mallets, when you get, this is heavy. How heavy do you reckon this is?
More than 1 kilo, maybe 1.5 kilos.
It's heavy, viewers. I mean, you can sort of see.
What's this size? M7.
Now,
biggest,
If somebody who really doesn't know what they're doing starts trying to play the gong with this size mallet incorrectly, they could easily hurt their wrist. Particularly their wrist. Because it's so heavy, and of course we hold the mallets, whatever techniques we're using. Can you hold that for a moment? I'm not going to bring that into later. We're going to talk about that in a minute. But the point is that it's very heavy. However, and there's techniques that you use to play a big mallet like this. Do you want me to show somebody so that you can? Because if I try how to use this correctly or not.
Oh, yeah.
I think so, viewers, don't you?
Yeah.
Here we are. I mean, I don't know whether you've ever seen anybody playing such a big mallet like this, but you use it in a different way to smaller mallets. So let me just show you. Now, we haven't got multiple cameras on this video, but basically the point that I was wanting to demonstrate is that I was playing it with my whole body, and really I am using my whole body, but I'm using at least my whole arm right up to my shoulder like this, and there's very little wrist in it, which means that it's heavy, but it means that I can play these long, deep strokes using my whole
mallet.
Using it upright like this. Of course, I can play over here and up here.
Even you are a big guy.
Yeah.
I'm a small woman.
Okay, so this is Yiling's mallet. I didn't get this. This is extremely expensive, but she wasn't. I'm a woman. But she's not too keen on using that. So we got an alternative. It's actually almost the same. So it's pretty much the same size. It's very slightly larger, but it's pretty much the same size. But how much lighter is it?
A third, less than,
I would say about a third. Yeah. This is a pasty mallet, a gorgeous mallet. Yeah. Don't get me wrong. I'm not saying.
Heavy.
Used properly, it's fantastic. But this one, which is called, I'm not sure whether, I think they are still made, a Sound Power, Vic Firth Sound Power GB1. This, I'm not even sure this was designed for a gong. I think it might have been designed for a big bass drum. But the point about that, actually, that's quite advisable, is that you can, of course, play it in the same way as you can that heavy pasty mallet that I've just shown you. But you know, the other beauty of it is that it's so light that I can play it in different ways. I can play it using my wrist. Yeah. I can play it. I can do it. Look. Now, I couldn't do the, I'm using, can you see I've got my wrist? We've only got one camera, as I say, but
it's the wrist.
Can you do that? I think you probably can.
Yeah, even I am the woman. Very easy. Anyway.
So the point about that is there are lighter big mallets which are safer in a way to use.
First of all,
that I can recommend if you're concerned about this.
Choose proper mallet. Second of all, how about the position or how to hold the mallet?
Yeah. So we've already shown how to approach using these bigger mallets, although I've just kind of broken the rules with this lighter big mallet. But if we use sort of, this is another small mallet with a wooden.
Small.
This is one of my favorites.
Very small. I compare to my face, so people know how small.
So I can do very many wristy things like this. So there's
how to hold them.
Of course,
how big the mallet? How to hold the mallet?
Depending we have basic ways of holding mallets. It's like I always introduce them to students as being like a handshake. How you're shaking hands with somebody, and with this shaft, we've actually got an indentation here designed. That's really like this because it's designed to fit snugly into your hand. We go into some detail in our training about this, but there are the multiple ways that we play the gong, different strokes, different sized mallets. You know, we have, of course, just to give you the sense I bothered to get this even down to these little tiny. So when we're using these sort of size, it's quite a hard tip, but we are using our fingers and our wrists almost exclusively.
Okay, this is a second.
Depending on the size of the mallet and the technique we're using, we can play this like this, for example, where it's going to be almost all wrist.
Thank you very much. And how about the third?
What's the third? The third what?
Tips for people to play safely with the mallet.
Holding for different strokes.
Okay.
Get lighter versions of big mallets.
That's already covered.
And remember to use your whole body.
Okay, thank you.
When you're playing the gong.
And I make the last thing. The last thing, Gordon forgot to bring it out, but he always highlight in the training. So if you want to come, you really want to correct yourself, or you are not sure, or you are, anyway, come to our training. Gordon is very good at monitor the student how they properly use their body.
Using the body. It's the stance in front of the gong. That's really what
the last point you forgot to mention, but we'll highlight in the training, is the distance, because the minor distance correction will make big difference. So if you are fancy about how to properly play the gong, very easy,
the stance, that's the word we'd use. How do you address the gong? How do you stand in front of the gong when you're playing? Slightly different ways that we use.
And when you stand right, you are more confident. And
uncomfortable. You're not going to get injured if your stance is right and you're holding the mallet correctly.
Anyway, check the QR code here. Every time, all of our students can benefit from the very good, very practical, and very good tips from you. So.
Well, I thank you very much, Eileen, for that vote of confidence. One thing about the training which I think is really useful is that Eileen videos the different techniques so that students take them away and study them so that they're not just trying to remember something, that they've actually got this visual help. Both of them playing and me playing and swapping, and this is really helpful too.
And two of us can, keep an eye on the students.
Particularly Eileen.
Okay, see you next time. Bye for now.
Bye.